We watched the woman who was surprised Coach Lee isn't here. I was like, I'm sure he'll be here in a moment.
Thank you so much for my gift.
You are the
And speaking
history sometime next.
I know.
How do you get a single game between two of me? Give you guys a brain break.
Girl, let me see.
Honestly, anything would be doing a ton of travels.
I thought he was going to sit back there.
Gave the student came.
Are you going to say something?
That's what she was. They just great teachers. My friends were not teachers. Something wrong with teachers and everything. This morning I asked the same situation in the class. You never give me I asked somebody on classroom now my grades going on. Somehow, so 295 grades in there is
That sounds so
pure chaos.
Would you walk back?
It's only 47,000 words.
Yeah, I actually just let them before I get the schedule. She had to fix the Can you send it to me? See? You already got one of the order. There's already only to do with this race. Email all the day here. So we're going to straighten it out. I'm going to do this for Monday. Not you. Don't worry. Sometimes it's a fire. Yes. I'll just give you my pet. We drank the whole pitcher of tea. I appreciate it. It's not so good, like shadowy.
Time is 7:05 p.m. and I would like to call to order the Monday, May 12th regular meeting of the Southampton County School Board. We have 7 of our 9 school board members present, so we do have a quorum. The agenda was included in your board packet. Is there a board member who would like to add an item to the agenda tonight?
Madam Chair, before we add items to the agenda, there is something that needs to be brought to the attention of the school board. According to the Code of Virginia, section 15.2-1522, every county, city, town, and district officer on or before the day on which his term of office begins shall qualify by taking the oath prescribed by section 49-1 before the circuit court for the county or city having jurisdiction for which he is elected or appointed. And Code of Virginia, section 15.2-1524, if any such officer fails to qualify as required by section 15.2-1523 on or before the day on which his term begins, his office shall be deemed vacant. And Southampton County Public School Policy BBBC, which states all new school board members qualify by taking the oath prescribed for officers of the Commonwealth on or before the day of the initial meeting of the new school board. Failure to take the oath of office within the time allowed by law renders the office vacant. Clearly, the oath of office, a pledge we take which holds us accountable to our constituents and the Virginia Constitution, specifically section 22.1-79, which outlines powers and duties of a school board, is of the utmost importance. We have a sitting member of the school board who does not have an oath of office on file with the Southampton County Circuit Court's clerk's office. Because this shows a failure to act upon the duties required by law and by our policy manual, and by law renders the seat vacant, I am asking that you comply with your duties as school board chair and ask Greg Scott to be excused from this meeting and any future participation with the Southampton County School Board. I am also asking that we contact our legal representatives to counsel us on the ramifications of this situation.
Thank you for reading your statement. However, I will not ask Mr. Scott to leave the meeting until I can verify the information that you provide.
Then I will be leaving this meeting because it is not a legal meeting as long as we have someone who is sitting that is not required.
That's your option, but Mr. Scott will remain during this meeting, and I will double check to make sure that what you're saying is accurate.
Can we consult with council to make sure? I mean, this is a serious thing. If he's not got a oath of office on file, we should not continue the meeting with him here.
We will go forward with the meeting tonight.
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave this one.
Okay, thank you. So now we have five school board members left. 1, 2, 3. So we do have a quorum. So is there a school board member present who would like to add an item to the agenda? Okay, so we have 4 school board members present. So is there 4 school board members present? Would you like to add an item to the agenda?
With only 4 school board members, we don't have a quorum now.
We do not have a quorum, but we will have a meeting, which means that we cannot take action, but we can have a meeting. So we will proceed with the meeting tonight. And Ms. Bunn is on her way. So we have 4 school board members present. So until we have a quorum, we will not take action, but we will proceed with the meeting as scheduled. So of the school board members left, is there a member who would like to add an item to tonight's agenda? So if not, then the agenda is approved as presented in your board documents. Before we look at the minutes, I would like to have the recognitions before we look at the minutes of the meeting. So I would like us to move forward with the student recognitions. Our board believes in and supports celebrating student success. The Student of the Month program is one way that our division recognizes students for their academic performance, positive character trait demonstrations, and or other extracurricular activity performance. So Dr. Shannon, would you move forward with the student recognitions?
Sure. If it's okay, Dr. Goodwin, I'd like to start with the BSBA artwork display. We had 3 students who participated in the BSBA Regional Spring Networking Forum, and the 3 students, their artwork was judged, and unfortunately, they did not place first for BSBA, but they did place first for each of their schools. And those students are Scarlett Brown, Kaylee Rayford, and Jabron Cohn. Again, are either of those students with us tonight? All right, thank you. And their artwork is being displayed over here, if you all would like to see it as you exit. Thank you. Also, looking at our students of the month, we are always excited about this portion of our board meeting because we have an opportunity to recognize students who go above and beyond in ways that deserve more than just a certificate or an applause, but also our admiration. Whether it's through academic excellence, creativity, leadership, resilience, or service to others, they've shown what's possible when talent meets hard work and heart. They remind us why we're here and why our schools matter so much. So this month's honorees will be introduced by our building principals, and we will begin with Capron Elementary School, Ms. Devonda Gary.
Good afternoon, Dr. Goodwin, Dr. Shannon, and school board members. First, I would like to recognize Ms. Maya Martins. Maya is a first grade student at Capron Elementary School. Maya is a pleasant young lady that goes all out for Spirit Days. Maya's teacher, Mrs. Granite, nominated her because she states that Maya is a hard worker, and because of her hard work and consistency, her reading skills have improved, and she is so close to finishing all of her first grade levels of extra math. Maya Martins. Next, we have Miss Aubrey Boone. Aubrey is a third grade student at Capron Elementary School. Aubrey was nominated by her teacher, Dr. Artis, for always being on target during instruction. Dr. Artis also states that Aubrey is becoming more of a critical thinker each day as she solves math problems. Aubrey is also a behavioral role model because she follows the CES ROAR expectations daily. Aubrey Boone. Her grandmother is here. Okay, come on, Grandma. She's gonna say it again for all. Thank you so much.
Mrs. Fowler is already approaching the podium.
Good evening, board. It's always my favorite thing. I like to introduce our students. This month, we decided to choose a kindergarten student and a 5th grade student to represent Meharon So first I want to call up Timothy Worrell. Timothy is a kindergartner in this pretty classroom. I want to highlight that Timothy has worked so very hard on all of his classroom expectations. Not just academically, he's meeting all of his benchmarks, but behaviorally, he's following all of our expectations, and he has made a complete 180 from where we were in September. So I wanted to highlight Timothy at today's recognition. So Timothy Worrell. Next is going to be a name that you've heard before. Her family is phenomenal. Her sister was a former Meharon Eagle and was recognized, but today I want to call up Destiny Cobb. Destiny is one of our fabulous fifth graders. So Destiny has been with us, and like I said, her family's phenomenal. Her sister has been a great role model. I've had the pleasure of working with them. But one of the things that her fifth grade teacher, Miss Blythe, wanted to say is that she's always on her P's and Q's. And that's like one of those phrases that you don't really hear these days, but Destiny comes in with a smile. She's always encouraging to her friends. And we are happy for her to go to the middle school, but we're sad that she's going to be leaving our building. So Destiny Cobb.
Next, we have Nottoway Elementary School, Miss Susan Street.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to call up Gabrielle Edwards to go on up. Miss Gabby is one of our first graders at Nottoway Elementary, and she got the award. Miss Boone nominated her for how polite she is, how kind she is, and how much she just helps everybody else in the classroom. And we are so grateful for students like Gabrielle. Then my second student is Miss Kylie Stewart. Kylie Stewart, I did not see her. I know that she was running a little late. But Miss Kylie Stewart, you will not find a better student. She is easily one of the nicest, sweethearted. She is an honesty of the mind. She is the most hardworking and one of those students that comes along that will leave an impression on you for a lifetime. So Miss Kylie Stewart.
The wonderful team of Riverdale Elementary School, Mr. Paul Key and Mrs. Amisha Warren.
Good evening. Our first recipient is a first grade student, Mr. Landon Lee. His first grade teacher, Miss Casey Keach, and she stated that Landon is a hard-working first grader who is a friend to all. He has great manners and loves to help any and everyone. He sets high standards for himself and works hard to achieve academically each and every day. He's a true definition of our motto, we rise by lifting others.
Recipient is one of our kindergarten students, Eliza Boyd. In kindergarten, she is a friend to everyone. She treats classmates and adults with respect, completes work neatly and correctly in a timely manner. She willingly shares work materials with classmates and is always a great friend. Eliza Boyd.
Amazing. Next we have Southampton Middle School, Dr. Mark Barfield, Mrs. Tiffany Madison, and Ms. Jasmine Galloway.
Good evening, everyone. Members of the board, Dr. Shannon, Dr. Goodwin. Mrs. Madison is out tonight, so I'll be reading for 6th and 7th grade this evening. So for 6th grade, starting off with Ramaya Byer. Did you see her? Ramaya is a bright and determined student. She leaves a positive mark on the classroom and beyond. She is always willing to lend a helping hand to anyone in need. Her teachers say Ramaya rocks. And so we'll go to the next student, but I did see him, Mr. Elliott. Come on up, Isaiah Elliott. Isaiah is an awesome student. Every day he comes to class with a positive attitude. Isaiah also completes all of his classwork with pride and loves to engage in all of his classes. Also, Isaiah rocks. I walked, I was so excited. He's getting for you. Once again, Isaiah Elliott. And for 7th grade, first we have Zamaya Pope. But Zamaya is a quiet, extremely studious scholar who works tirelessly to ensure her grades sufficiently meet or exceed her academic standards. She is a model student athlete who enjoys travel basketball in her leisure. Once again for Zamaya Pope. And our next 7th grade student is Mr. Alexander King. I did see him. There he is. Come on down. Alexander, our future movie producer, persistently navigates towards excellence and thrives in all subjects. His yearly GPA is a 3.8, as he never settles for less and sees each skill as a challenge determined to be met. Let's give it up for Alexander King. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Goodwin, board members, Dr. Shannon, community at large. It is my privilege to highlight the class of 2029. Unfortunately, my scholars are not here on this evening, but first I'd like to recognize Hannah Borchel. Hannah Borchel. According to Ms. Clark, her teacher, Hannah is a joy to have in our classroom. She works hard, loves to interact with friends, and get along well with her peers, as well as other adult staff members in our classroom. She is witty and humorous at times. Also, Hannah has one of the jobs of bringing in the school meal daily, and she brings it with a smile. Hannah Borchel. Family is Robert Seeley. Robert is well-mannered and a respectable young man. He works hard to complete his assignments. He greets everyone with a smile. Whenever you see Robert, he's going to fist bump you throughout the day. So if you see Robert 50 times, you can get a fist bump 50 times. So we're glad to highlight Robert Seeley on this evening.
Thank you. Southampton High School, Mr. Jafar Baraka.
Good evening, Dr. Goodwin, Dr. Shannon, and esteemed school board members. My first student of the month this evening is William Howard. William is a 10th grade student. He is an athlete, a and an overall good student. He recently helped get screen printing up and running with the new screen printing teacher is right now. That's in our CTE program. He's also a second-year FBLA student that is heading to nationals in broadcast journalism. Will is always respectful and always a wonderful representative of Southampton High School wherever he travels. William Holland. Okay, our second student of the month is Miss Lamaria Garrett. Lamaria is an 11th grade student. She was nominated by her teacher for all of her preparation and hard work she put into her CTE certification and her schoolwork in general. She's a very respectful student, friendly and kind, and she makes a wonderful representative of Southampton High School. Lamaria Garrett.
On behalf of the entire board, I would like to congratulate all the students who were recognized tonight. I would also like to thank the parents and the grandparents and the other family members who support these students. It's only when we work together that we can have an effective and outstanding school system. So thank you so much for all that you do. At this time, Ms. Key likes to take a picture in the foyer of all the students who were recognized. So if the students would make your way to the front of the building to take a group picture, I'd appreciate it. If family members would like to stay to remain in the board meeting, you're certainly welcome to do so. But if you would like to exit, now might be a time to do so.
Thank you.
Gary.
I want to say thank you again. You are a lifesaver. All right. Thanks again.
Does anyone listen to it?
going to move into the public comment period because I read although Virginia law does not require us to hold the public comment period. The Southampton County School Board does so because we believe it's important for us to hear from our community members. We value public input and we recognize its importance. The public comment period is a time for board members to listen to the views and concerns of individuals regarding Southampton County Public Schools. Therefore, please do not expect board members to respond to comments or to answer questions during the public comment period. We also ask that you respectfully follow a few guidelines. Persons who wish to speak during the public comment period should sign up in the lobby prior to the start of the meeting. And two, each individual has a time limit of 3 minutes. The time limit has been created so that as many members of the public as possible who wish to speak may do so while still allowing sufficient time for the board to conduct other necessary business. We do have a visible timer so that speakers can keep track of their time. Speakers may not give or yield their time to increase the speaking time of others. Speakers should address their comments to the board, not to the superintendent or to other audience members. We also ask that audience members refrain from comments and demonstrations such as booing, hissing, or clapping. We have 2 persons who signed up in the lobby tonight, and I'll call them in the order in which they signed up. So the first speaker is Michael Haynes. Thank you.
call Ms. Carr, our Director of Finance, to the podium so that she can give that update.
Good evening. Just to remind you, the Southampton County Board of Supervisors advertised budget included a total of $35,879,931 for our school board operating budget for FY26. Our local state operating budget request was actually $38,282,007. So if this advertised budget is approved, we would need to cut $2,404,076 from our local operating budget. Now, the Board of Supervisors is scheduled to hold a public hearing on the budget on May the 14th, that's this week at 6:00 p.m. And they are scheduled to adopt the budget on May the 27th at 6:00 p.m. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you.
All right.
So we won't get the final budget until after May 27th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, we're now down to the financial report. Dr. Shannon.
Ms. Carr, you will remain at the podium. Thank you.
Alrighty. If I can bring everybody's attention to the preliminary expenditure report for the month of April. The revised local operating budget for this fiscal year is $37,397,641.54. Our expenditures through April 30th total $25,890,599.22. This leaves us a balance of $11,507,042.32. Please note that as of the date of this report, 69.23% has been expended from the local operating budget. And of course, the April bill list is attached, but I'm not sure whether you can.
We won't take any action on it. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Any questions? Thank you.
Okay.
So the next item is the career and technical education local plan. Dr. Shannon.
Yes, we actually have Ms. Melissa Edwards with us tonight, and she is going to talk with the board about the career and technical education local plan. And she'll outline our goals and strategies and commitments to expanding high-quality CTE opportunities for all of our students. So thank you, Ms. Edwards.
Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Shannon, Dr. Goodwin, board members, and community. I'm honored to stand in front of you to present the local annual plan for career and technical education. My data is based off this year's numbers and projections based on areas of improvement. This data gives a snapshot of the participation in CTE programs within the total student population at SHS. For example, we can see that a significant portion of the student body, 514 of our 693 students, are enrolled in at least one CTE course this year. We also have specific numbers on students with disabilities and those from disadvantaged backgrounds who are participating in these programs. As you can see, this school year, 74% of students are enrolled in career and technical education, with many taking more than one CTE course throughout the school year. In the upcoming year, we will increase the enrollment through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade courses. These courses will complete the course competencies. This will add approximately 150 students to our projection for the upcoming school year. This annual program assessment identifies work-based learning, industry partnerships, career exploration, school-based enterprises as key areas of growth to be combined with but not replace our current coursework. CTE will utilize data from the Commonwealth of Virginia's state system of performance standards and do an analysis of past, present, and future trends for each CTE program. This data-driven approach will enable SCPS to not only understand our program performance over time, but also to benchmark our results against both state and national averages, providing valuable context for continuous improvement. The insights gained from this analysis will be through our CTE advisory board that is already being prepared for the upcoming year and its collaborative efforts of students, teachers, administrators, school board members, and community partners for the outreach. As you can see on the slide, our target areas are to increase course offerings in business and increase enrollment in trades. Each CTE course is paced by Virginia CTE Resource through a series of competencies that must be covered and completed by students. These are similar to our SOL standards. We will assess areas of strength and weaknesses through each course before the start of the next school year, and we are doing these through professional learning communities or PLC meetings. We have already seen an increase in workplace readiness scores by having the students take the first wave of testing before SOLs and making sure all students are provided with accommodations that are best suited for their class or their needs. SHS special education teachers, especially with the help of Mrs. Nelson, has helped this number increase this semester. We are stacking credentials this year by having all students take workplace, even if they've taken previous credentials, and in some classes are able to get more than one credential because the goal is to make sure we are not only testing seniors for graduation, but instead able to list all of the credentials they have mastered throughout multiple courses at graduation, which will help them with their future. A big push in CTE is work-based learning opportunities, internships, and externships. Now let's get into some of the changes that we have already made this year that will take us into next year. We have Ms. Angie Vick in our culinary classroom. We now have Mrs. Crutchfield and Ms. Horowitz working with the agriculture students and offering a wide range of courses. Our business department has already had students create resumes and take career assessments. Our Future Business Leaders of America had great success at state competitions. And finally, over 30 colleges, military, and businesses were set up at the College and Career Fair, where over 400 students were able to take advantage of the opportunity during the school day. We also have ways to improve that process as we move forward. So let's talk about our school-based enterprises. First, we have culinary. We have already had catering events. They have cleaned and updated the kitchen and are working in the short order kitchen at this time. Through state equipment grants, we were able to update and install appliances using the total grant of $6,429.30. Our greenhouse in agriculture has a large variety of seedlings growing, and a few are listed here. They have been active in the greenhouse and will start plant sales and the activities at the Family Fun Fest that is this Saturday. FFA officers have been going to the elementary schools promoting the event and have worked really hard to put this together, so we hope it's great success and an annual tradition. Moving on to our child care program, it has been up and running and one of the happiest places on our school grounds. Right now we have 3 bright preschool students enrolled. Looking ahead to 2025-2026, that school year, the key area of improvement for us is increasing enrollment of preschoolers for our active juniors and seniors that are ready to teach. We also have a plan in place for playground repairs, ensuring a safe, engaging environment for our young learners. We're thrilled to receive grant funds totaling $3,367.44 to support this effort. An overall cleanup and new equipment and even a mural is in the plan. To support growth, we are developing a comprehensive marketing plan to raise awareness of our child care program within the community. And finally, we're proud of our CTE stars, highlighting the wonderful things happening in our career and technical education programs, including early childhood. This is a positive impact that our early childhood teacher, Mrs. Woodley, has taken on. Then we have a retail store. The school store is going to be run through the entrepreneurship and JBG classes. They will sell school supplies, chargers, Indian wear by working with the print shop. They have already had Indian items donated for the store, and they will be using it as a mobile cart. This will meet competencies in areas of business plan, marketing, and economic principles. Our business teachers have already jumped into having guest speakers from the credit union and guest speakers from our very own finance department at SCPS. They are in the planning phase and having reality fairs in the classroom where students learn about personal finances and plan to expand having an in-class credit union next year. Actually, I was in Ms. Diggs' class today doing an observation, and she was talking to her students about loans, and she was able to give me a little bit more insight on how they're going to do the credit union in their class, and I think it will be a great activity. Next, we have my passion in the classroom I just left. I'm currently training the new teacher in multimedia print shop. In the picture in front of you, you can see 3 of our teachers wearing their new spirit wear that was given to them during Teacher Appreciation Week, and it was screen printed in 2 days, over 115 pieces by our students and the new teacher. We also recently partnered with Riverdale to do their field day shirts, and the vinyl printer printed address numbers for all the schools. And one of our talented students, Jaden Dickens, was able to revive one of our older 3D printers. He actually just won first place at the Raw Student Art Exhibit for his suit that he made at home on his 3D printer. So next year, we have a plan for him to be an intern at our school and get this program up and running with 3D printing. And our new poster printer that was grant funded will help print, already did help print our FBLA project designs on a large scale, which greatly assisted in their success at the regional and state level. Now I have, building into our drone program and already successful photography program will be videos and pictures taken by our drones for marketing and yearbook purposes and then offered as a service to all of our schools. Actually, you might have viewed our new video on Facebook that one of our CTE students made about buying a yearbook, and it greatly increased the sales in just 2 days. Now I have slides that list the courses that we have in each area and what courses are new. This is agriculture science. You can see that we already have a large range of courses offered in agriculture. Then business and information technology, we have 3 new courses that were approved. Entrepreneurship Advanced, which is just our second level so that they can have that CTE credential. Information technology fundamentals, and sports and entertainment management, which I think is going to be very popular as the kids are seeing that on their course signups. Then we have family and consumer sciences. You can see this is where our culinary arts and JBG programs are. And you can also see some of the other classes that we have listed here. We have nurse aide, medical assistant, patient care tech. So some of those are in this main building, a little bit away from the CTE building, but they're still really up and running. And we also have an after-school pharmacy tech program that's going on right now, and those young ladies just left after studying for a couple of hours. Technology and engineering is our architectural drawing and technical drawing and design, engineering drawing and robotic design. And courses currently offered in trade and industry, our cosmetology and unmanned aircraft are 2 of our very popular classes that the kids love to take. And then you can see here, this is our dual enrollment. We have early childhood education 1 dual enrollment and 2 in forestry. Those are all in-house, taught by our teachers. And then off campus, we have electricity and welding. And I was able to put these pictures in here. This is from this past graduation on Friday. 2 of our students that just graduated from camp in CTE areas before their high school graduation. We have actually just started our first round of testing before SOL. So our WISE test results, the first round is already at a 93% pass rate, which is wonderful. And workplace readiness is now at an 82.81% pass rate. And we still have students that, of course, need to take these tests. However, we are definitely moving in the right direction, and some of those changes we made, I think, have really helped in second semester. So Southampton County Public Schools Career and Technical Education administrators, teachers will utilize data from the CTE Annual Performance Report to evaluate CTE programs. We will also employ observation protocols and assess teaching practices, trends, and instructional technology. An advisory document has been developed and evaluated the program with specific sections focusing on CTSOs, equipment, instruction, agreements, internships, certifications, and credentials. We use the PowerSchool software to compile student data and CTE-related information. Furthermore, SCPS incorporated data from the CTE student follow-up survey, and we are about to do another one of those this year, and end-of-year data such as examination and credential test scores. All of these are analyzed for continuous improvement. Do you have any questions about this year's plan?
Any questions? Thank you. Sounds ambitious, and I'm excited. So the next item is the gasoline, diesel, and heating oil contract.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Melby will come forward and give us details regarding the contract for gasoline, diesel, and heating oil.
Good evening, Dr. Goodwin, board. In front of you, you have a letter that I have written to Park Oil to renew our fuel contract for the 25-26 school year, fiscal year 26. The margins would maintain the same, so it's, gas prices and propane prices are variable along the year, but the amount that we pay over that rack rate would stay consistent. They would not have the ability to change what they charge us, just based on whatever. Like what we dealt with 2 years ago when the Ukraine issue, they kept their margin the same.
And you want to talk about trash pickup while you?
Sure.
You want to talk about trash pickup while you?
Trash pickup. So a couple months ago, we received notice from the county board that we would have to be responsible for our own trash pickup starting July 1st. So we crafted a RFP, put that out, and had 2 companies responding. Green for Life was the lower of the 2 responding companies, and we're seeking to just take the next steps to develop that contract with them, so that we'd be ready to roll the finalized contract next month, so that we can start services July 1st.
So how often will they pick up and how much?
So within the RFP, what was written was twice per week at each school. Excuse me. What we did is we looked at the size of the dumpsters currently that are at the schools and compared them to the dumpsters that each company would have, and created a schedule, so it would be twice per week, non-consecutive days that they would pick up. But language within our contract would allow it if, per se, cable doesn't need twice a week, every week, we can back it off and give ourselves an opportunity to have a little cost savings.
Okay, thank you. We have information now about summer school, Dr. Shannon.
Yes, Ms. Rachel Doyle, our curriculum specialist, will come forward and talk about our summer school program.
Good evening, Dr. Goodwin, Dr. Shannon, board members, and all present. Because there will be several layers to summer school this year, we chose the title Summer Learning Academy. The Academy will offer remediation, advancement, and enrichment opportunities to support and challenge students at all levels. Ms. Vogt will be sharing additional details regarding the advancement and enrichment components. Included in the plan are program overview, student eligibility criteria, assessment information, credit and promotion guidelines, the daily schedule and hours of operation, transportation and meal services, staff compensation, and the student registration form. We are requesting approval of the proposed plan so that we may begin hiring staff, identifying participating students, and engaging in the necessary communications to ensure a smooth launch. Thank you so much for your time, support, and for considering our plan to provide valuable summer learning opportunities for our students. And the plan is on the board docs.
So it looks like the elementary school will go from 9 to 1:30, is that it? And then the secondary will be from 8 to 12:30.
That's correct. And then there will be a second session for high school.
Any questions about the summer school plan that was included in your board documents? And again, I guess high school availability will be based on student requests. Okay. Any questions from board members? Thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon, you want to talk about the proposed calendar?
Sure. So in your packet, you have the 12-month employee holiday calendar, and the summer hours are highlighted in yellow. And normally we would make a request to the board for 12-month employees to work 4 days a week, 10-hour days. And that usually begins the latter part of June, and then it ends in early August. And so those days are highlighted again in yellow. In addition to that, on the calendar, you see that we have 203 regular work days, 35 summer hour days, and then 3 early dismissal days and 14 holidays. The 14 holidays are the same holidays that we normally would recognize. And looking at those holidays, we have 3 days off in November for Thanksgiving, 2 for the Christmas holiday, and then 1 for New Year's. Just wanted to highlight those.
We do have some requests for overnight field trips, but since we don't have a quorum, we will not act on those requests. So the students had requested in FBLA Dr. you want to explain?
Sure thing. Yes, so the senior class actually is requesting permission to have a senior field trip. And the senior field trip will occur in Williamsburg, Virginia. It's Friday, June 6th and Saturday, June 7th. 2 nights, they'll be at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and Water Country, USA. The students will actually be transported by school bus, and our senior sponsors are calling this an opportunity for our seniors to just bond and showcase school spirit. Ms. Melissa Edwards is one of the chaperones, and she is here, and she and I, we've spoken a little bit about the trip. The cost of the trip per student will be around $207, but I would like to add that students have been participating in fundraisers that will defray a portion of the cost.
I want to talk about the other requests.
Yes. The next request is for the Future Business Leaders of America, and I think one of our gentlemen who was recognized tonight was from FBLA. And with FBLA, we have 14 students who are requesting permission to travel to California, and they will be going there for the National Leadership Conference. The conference is June 29th through July the 3rd. They'll leave at 3 p.m., return at 12:30 p.m. And you see, we also have adequate chaperones. Now, this trip is a little more costly because students will be flying on this trip, but again, these students have the opportunity to participate in fundraisers. And I think they recently had a fundraiser that brought in about $2,000 for just one of the more recent fundraisers. So we're anticipating additional fundraisers that will bring in, similar proceeds.
We do have some requests to use school facilities, but we will not act on those tonight either. But you want to tell us what they are?
Sure. So we have Mr. Eric Benson with Camp 25, and he is requesting permission to utilize the high school football field from 8 until 3 o'clock for Little League football games. And the dates of his request are August 23rd through November the 1st, 5 Saturdays, and he's outlined those Saturdays. He does have insurance, salary insurance, and he's a nonprofit, or he represents a nonprofit organization, and he's requesting that we waive the fees. Then that was it.
Okay. And I did skip over the bonus payment for the SOQ funded instruction support positions. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I'm going to get Joy Carter come and elaborate on it a little bit, but what I will state is that the bonus payment is for $1,000. It's for SOQ funded positions. It's going to cost the school division about $200,000, and then the other $200,000 will come from the governor's funding. Yes. All right, was that everything? I just wanted to give you an opportunity since you talked with them so much.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I did get some additional information today. There's a certification form that we will need to complete, and also the state is supposed to have the money to us by June 1st, and then we're supposed to complete the form to tell them, as quickly as possible when we can get the bonus payment out. So okay,
but my concern is that we talk about money from the state for the SOQ funded positions, but how are we making a distinction between people who work with us part of the year, people who work all the year? I would not think that everybody who gets the $1,000.
Right, and that's up to the board, how you want to distribute it. The state did say that the school board has the flexibility to prorate these funds, to provide a bonus, to all staff, and, but you have the flexibility to determine, how much you want to provide. What they did is they based the state funding on $1,000 per SOQ, positions.
Right.
But, then you all will decide how you want to distribute.
Right, because my thinking is that we have people who joined us, late in the year. They haven't been here the whole year, so I would think that they wouldn't get the same payment as somebody who's been with us the whole year, or somebody who's working part-time would get the same amount as a person who's working full-time. So, I think that as you and Dr. Shannon work through the budgeted amount that will be required for our budget, that hopefully you would consider having these differences, a pay scale for part-time people, a pay scale for newly employed people, so that it's not just $1,000 for everybody who's employed, so that we can perhaps reduce that $200,000 cost of the school system. Okay.
Okay.
But okay.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. The Code of Virginia requires that we evaluate the superintendent annually. It is each local school board shall evaluate the division superintendent annually, consistent with the performance objectives set forth in the guidelines for uniform performance standards and criteria for teachers, administrators, and superintendents. Usually, we evaluate the superintendent in June. We use the document that has been approved by the Virginia Department of Education. It's the same form that we used last year. Each school board member is asked to evaluate the superintendent according to that document, and then the superintendent's evaluation is the average of the scores that she receives. So Ms. Artis has for board members tonight a copy of that document of the school board, of the superintendent evaluation form. So Ms. Artis will give you that tonight. I ask that you give it back to Ms. Artis or a week before our June meeting, and that way I would have time to tabulate the superintendent's evaluation, and then at our June meeting, we will meet in closed session to discuss the superintendent's evaluation, but it is the same form that we used last year that we will continue to use. So now we're down to informational items, instructional report. Dr. Shannon.
Sure. Ms. Rachel Gold will approach the podium again so that she can talk about the instructional report. She's going to share important details, SOL days, VLA information, and she's already talked about the Summer Learning Academy.
Good evening again. The main instructional report topics are as follows: SOL dates, Virginia Literacy Act updates, April Exact Path winners, and SCPS Summer Learning Academy. The calendar you see provides the SOL testing dates for the months of May and June. Elementary reading SOLs will take place this week, with 5th grade reading testing tomorrow, 4th grade on Wednesday, and 3rd grade on Thursday. The following week, high school SOL assessments will begin. English 11 testing will take place on May 20th, World Geo and World History 1 on the 21st, World History 2 and Virginia and U.S. History on the 22nd, and Earth Science and Chemistry on the 23rd. The middle school will also begin testing that week, with the Physical Science SOL assessment taking place on May 22nd. The 5th grade Science SOL assessment will also take place on the 22nd. SHS Math SOLs will take place on May 27th. 4th grade Math, Middle School Math, and SHS Biology assessments will take place on May 28th. 5th grade Math SOL will take place on May 29th. And on May 30th, 3rd grade Math and Middle School Reading SOLs will take place. 5th grade Virginia Studies and Civics Economics SOL assessments will take place on June 2nd. Lastly, as noted on the calendar, CTE testing will take place May 7th through 9th and June 2nd through 3rd. Virginia Literacy Act updates. VDOE has released an April literacy update with additional information regarding VLA implementation for this and next year. A May literacy update is also anticipated this month. The SCPS VLA Leadership Committee met on Thursday via Zoom to discuss the requirements for the 25-26 school year. This was a tiered Zoom where we met with middle school staff from 2:45 to 3:30, the full committee from 3:30 to 3:45, and elementary staff from 3:45 to 4:15. During this time, we discussed the requirements for grade 6-3 with middle school staff, updates for the new biennial division literacy plan, which is due June 30th, and areas of opportunity for K-3 implementation next year. Bi-weekly VLA office hours will continue through June 23rd, and then beginning in July and continuing through August, VLA office hours will be held weekly. The most recent version of the Canvas course report has been received from VDOE. The report provides a spreadsheet notifying the Division of Teacher Progress within the mandatory VLP Canvas course. New teachers entering the division next year will also be required to complete the VLP Canvas courses. These enrollments will take place in the new fiscal year. VAL's mid-year screening statewide results have been released and are available on the VLP website. These reports have also been shared with all of the division reading specialists. Students have continued their work in Admin's Exact Path. Exact Path math lessons are based on student need. Our winners for April are at Capron, Dr. Artist's 3rd grade homeroom, at Maharan, Mrs. Crawford's 3rd grade homeroom, at Nottoway, Miss Whitley's 3rd grade homeroom, and at Riverdale, Mrs. Peterson's 3rd grade homeroom. So 3rd grade worked really, really hard this month. Summer school remediation will take place from June 23rd through July 30th. Teacher work days will take place June 18th, July 31st, and on-board approval. The 2 additional enrichment and advancement opportunities that Ms. Bowe will provide further detail on are the virtual Virginia Summer Session Free Allotment Grant and the Summer STEM Camps. The virtual Virginia courses will take place at the secondary level as part of the summer school program, and the Summer STEM Camps will also run during summer school for a group of 12 to 16 rising 4th and 5th graders, and a group of 12 to 16 6th and 7th graders. We plan to send the employee summer school interest form this week. The Office of Human Resources will assign staff to positions based on this survey and staffing needs. Letters will be sent home to parents of qualifying students, and students will be provided with transportation meals and supplies. Questions?
I have a question. Yes. Based on your calendar, you are doing retakes, right?
Yes, ma'am. These are just the initial.
With no board?
Yes, ma'am. I think Dr. Harrison
Dr. Harrison, do you know the answer?
I think it depends on the test. Because of
I'm sorry. The question is, you're ending, the last date is June 2nd. Where's your retake window?
So, great question, thank you. The principals are retaking throughout once they remediate their students. So there are 2 groups. There are your expedited group of students and then your extenuating circumstance group. The extenuating circumstance requires approval from me and the superintendent. The expedited, after they complete remediation for a certain amount of hours, as required by the school division, then they can immediately retake their test. So in the past, the calendar looked something like this, where retakes or expedited retakes were coming up with dates, May 31st, June 1st, June 2nd, June 3rd. Because we lost time due to inclement weather, we had to be very strategic in how we then move forward with catching those students without losing days. So it's going to be throughout. So once testing completes on our elementary and middle and high school level, and remediation is occurring during that time, then the schools will begin retesting their students.
And what's your equivalent hours?
So this year is for secondary, 10 to 15 hours of remediation. For elementary, it's 10. In the past, it was 20 for secondary, and then 10 to 15 for elementary. Yep.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Thank you. We're down to the mayor's operations and transportation report. Dr. Shannon.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Melvin is on his way to the podium so that he can give that report.
Good evening once again, and I'll start with the end. So just look here. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers here. I hope you all had an enjoyable day. All right, so some departmental updates, what's been going on. One of the new fiscal year 25 school buses arrived. The remaining 3 are scheduled to arrive in the next coming weeks. Had a regional transportation meeting last week. The Sunny Maryland lady pulled up the stuff online and just showed that they're rolling down the line at the facility in North Carolina. So hopefully, like I said, the next couple of weeks we'll get the other 3. The hardware for the GPS replacement arrived last week as well, so we're getting that scheduled and done with. Utility work, the electrical and water sewer is getting done outside of here at our modular units. The food services department, kind of talk about, we're getting this earlier, but yep, so summer feeding program. Once that is approved, we will be a part of the summer feeding, summer food service program where we will have a high school, middle school in Riverdale where people can come in, students can come in and get a free breakfast and lunch every day that we have summer school going on. Door access control project is nearing completion. Had a couple of hiccups that were taken care of. Surplus auction is something that we're going to do, but we'll push that back a little bit and have that in July. Plans for graduation have begun both outside and indoors here in the gym. The gym floors here at the high school, the middle school, and Riverdale will all be refinished in June 25th. So, Rocco, remember that? I sent them an email last week with that. All right, transportation proposals are due this Friday, so we will get that information from the providers that came to the pre-proposal conference. I think I skipped one. The school security equipment grant work continues on. Lighting and fencing, like I said last time, the lights out here in the parking lot are going to be completely replaced, which is a huge upgrade. Probably the last contract that Mr. Turner signed in 2000, and we were still rolling on that, so it was time for an update. We had the gas, diesel, and propane and heating oil ready to go, but we will hold on that. Received notifications on Thursday that Versa has completed our insurance renewal proposal, and we will get that probably this week or next and have it for the next board meeting for approval. And then the trash pickup services anticipated start date of July 1st. We will pay that by you. So again, happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
Dr. Shannon, the Advancing Computer Science Education Grant, the BVA summer session.
Perfect. So Ms. Bowe will make a presentation actually on both of those grants. Both of the grants are grants that she actually wrote. So she'll talk to us a little bit about the grants that she wrote and the opportunities that they will provide for our students in our community. So thank you, Ms. Bowe.
Good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Perfect. Okay, so I'm actually here to talk to you about 3 grants that we have submitted and received. The first one is the Virtual Virginia Summer Session Free Allotment Grant. So we were awarded 283 allotments, which is equivalent to $106,125 of enrollment funding to allow Southampton County Public School students to attend virtual Virginia classes for credit during summer 2025. Now, the goal there is to widen out the offerings that we're able to provide to students, and I'm going to show a list of the courses in a moment so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about there. We did choose, there were 2 sessions available, which is the later of the 2 available, which is the only one that really aligned with our school calendar, June 17th through July 25th. This is going to be for high school and middle school students, and we'll talk about the availability for middle school students in a moment. They can take these courses for either advancement if they've never taken the course before, or credit recovery if they are recovering lost credit from previously taking the course. And there'll be different selections of courses available for credit advancement versus credit recovery. I know this is a little bit small, but you should have a paper copy as well that you can take a look at. We have a variety of advancement courses available through Virtual Virginia, all 4 English classes, a selection of science, math, some core classes. We do know that pre-calculus we offer here is dual enrollment. Virtual Virginia version will not be dual enrollment, but it will be the math analysis and pre-calculus course, full course for that. French, all 3 levels, Spanish 1 through 4, through core histories. American Sign Language, levels 1, 2, and 3, German 1 and 2, and then the 1 CTE class that they do offer is economics and personal finance. So that would be the range of courses available for high and middle, primarily for high school, but also for middle. We'll talk a little bit about the middle availability in a moment. For credit recovery, these are the options available. Again, focusing on those 4 core areas. As far as advancement, lists of recommended students are going to be collected from current teachers and relevant subjects. So we're going to be looking at pre-algebra, recommending students for Virtual Virginia Advancement, summer algebra 1 for middle school, for example. We're also going to offer an interest form, and we'll be working with the parents and the building in order to make sure those families are contacted, and we're able to make sure that we reach all of the students that are interested and get them connected with this program. Credit recovery, we're going to run a similar dual process where we're going to be contacting the building, but we're also going to have the interest form available so that families can come to us as well. This is the availability chart for middle school, and we've worked out really what that would look like based on our current offerings and how we can provide offerings potentially next year. So you'll notice that for pre-algebra 7 students, current pre-algebra 7 students, if they are recommended, they would be able to go into Algebra 1, or if they express interest, they would be able to go into Algebra 1 over the summer, and then potentially we would run a section of geometry next year for middle school to support those students. Then you can see the various offerings for our rising 9th graders, current 8th graders, Algebra 1, to prepare them to take geometry at the high school, pre-algebra 8 for Algebra 1, physical science to prepare them. They would be able to take art, science, or biology to prepare them to take another science. And then for our civics students, they can take more geography to prepare them for World History 1. As far as the schedule and course expectations, of course, much of this is aligned with the Virtual Virginia expectations, because those are standard across the state. On average, students spend a total of 4 to 5 hours daily on their coursework and synchronous instruction. For 1 Virtual Virginia virtual summer course, we are going to be limiting students to 1 virtual course for the summer. Summer session courses meet synchronously Monday through Thursday at 9 a.m. for 45 minutes, which aligns with our typical summer school Monday through Thursday schedule. And followed by 15 minutes of live Q&A, so that's going to be 1 hour of live interaction with their teacher. And then they will have the rest of the time for that first morning session time to work on their coursework. They can also schedule one-on-one support meetings with their teacher as needed during that time and confirm that with Virtual Virginia. For the high school, it's going to be 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and we have the staff hours there, 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. For the middle school, it will be their regular summer school day, which is 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Staff, same hours, 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. As far as absences and pacing, the gist of that section is really that it is crucial that students are there because those courses are not self-paced. They need to be present for those synchronous sessions in order to keep pace with that work. It is going to be a condensed course, so it is going to be relatively intense. For logistics, we're going to dovetail transportation and food with our existing summer school plan. We talk a little bit about facilitators, and our proposed pay rate, and the number of facilitators that we need in order to achieve an average of no more than 25 students per group. Also, this just as a brief overview of the expectations of facilitators. We're looking for active monitoring and supporting students in staying student tasks for that intensive coursework. And then, of course, on the technology side, this is a virtual course that will be benefiting from our high-speed internet here at the high school and middle school complex. And they'll also have the iPads that they will be issued during the year as well. So they're going to be able to work seamlessly, just like they do with our proximity classes during the year. This is the proposed timeline. So we're looking for posting our interest form, getting responses back by May 28th. Starting to work on our parent contacts, May 28th to May 30th. Starting our virtual Virginia enrollments to June 2nd. We will have enrollments open per virtual Virginia through June 18th, but classes do start June 17th, and we want to make sure that the enrollments are concluded before the first day of class. Then July 25th will be the end of the summer session, and July 28th is when the grades will be available. As far as support goes, we are going to have Mr. Alger Nichols supporting with this project, as he has with virtual initiatives during the year. And of course, we're going to continue providing support just as we do for summer school and for all the other departments. As far as other points of interest on enrollment requests, it would be Mr. Alger Nichols, Ms. Rochelle Doyle, and myself. Are there any questions about the virtual Virginia summer session?
Any questions?
We're very excited to offer the program and to share it with you.
It looks exciting.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think we go to the next one. I'm afraid you're stuck with me for 2 more PowerPoints. I promise to be as succinct as I can. All right, so this is the Advancing Computer Science Education, or ACSE grant. We're actually participating in this grant 2 different ways, but this is the Summer STEM Camp from Longwood's Institute for Teaching Through Technology and Innovative Practices, or ITK. We're going to offer 2 camps, as we did last year, one for rising grades 4 through 5, so that's current 3rd and 4th graders. That will be centered on LEGO Spike, the robotic system LEGO Spike. And one for rising grades 6 through 7, which will be our current 5th and 6th graders. That's going to be centered on the Hummingbird robot system. We're going to have 2 teachers per camp and 12 to 16 students in each camp for a student-to-teacher ratio of no more than 1 to 8. We're going to have 7 4.5-hour school days, and we will not be allowing out-of-division students to participate with that. That's going to be an internal project. So if we do have students that are from that go to school in other divisions, they will not be participating in this program. Okay. So all robots and most of the materials are going to be supplied by the grants, other than the iPads, which of course are part of our one-to-one initiative. Teacher stipends and transportation costs are fully funded by the grant, $675 for transportation, and $1,680 per teacher per camp. So if a teacher teaches 2 camps, they would receive that stipend twice. It is 1 work day and 7 days of camp. The work day doubles as a PD day. We have partially virtual PD provided by Longwood, which is the curriculum exploration, and partially in-person PD, which will be at SCPS, the site visit, later in May or June. And that is our technology exploration piece. Those are the proposed dates. So the teacher workday being June 20th, instruction June 23rd to 26th, June 30th, and July 1 and 2 for the first camp, which is the rising 4 through 5 camp. For the rising 6th and 7th graders, the teacher workday will be July 3rd, and instruction days will be July 7th through 10 and 15 through 16. These are the flyers. They look very similar to the ones from last year. We've updated the QR code and the dates, but we are going to be using that QR code again to solicit interest. Just a close up. And then these were some of the pictures from last year. We actually have some boards as well that I was not able to bring for you tonight, but I tried to pick the highlights from those photo boards to show you here some of the exciting moments that we had either during the parent showcase or during the camp itself last year. a mixture of our rising 4th and 5th and our rising 6th and 7th students. Working with, you see group robots there, you see Lego Spike, you're seeing the iPads in use, and you're seeing some of the final projects, which involve creating an interactive Zoom enclosure. And there's just one more there, you can see the parent showcase, and then again, some more Zoom enclosures and some more Lego Spike. Any questions about the Axie STEM program through Longwood?
Any questions?
Something else I'm excited to share with you, and I'm glad I got a chance to do that.
It's like an exciting summer.
Yes. Okay. And the last one, and then I promise you're done with me.
So it was 3 grants instead of 2 grants.
Yes, 3 grants.
Sorry.
Yeah, 1 extra. And this one is, we're doing this a little bit earlier, but we're planning and starting to think about this now. We're getting this in motion now. So this is actually for next year, the AP Computer Science Micro Grant. This is also an Axie grant. This is through BDOE's Micro Grant under the same program. We did seek and receive $20,000 under the BDOE sub-grant, which is the AP Computer Science Expansion Micro Grant. I've got the objectives there, but the general goal was to increase access to computer science in schools that hadn't offered it before. We haven't offered it in-house. We have offered it through Virtual Virginia or through another venue, but we haven't been able to offer it in-house ourselves here at the high school for some time. So we also want to provide teachers with the resources that they need and students with the resources that they need to be successful and to sustain that model, that this would be something that we're able to found this class and have it continue on over the years rather than fade with the grant phase. As far as the key points, we're seeking to offer 2 sections of AP Computer Science Principles in fall 2025 with live after-school support sessions from the teacher to continue a minimum of once a week for the duration of the course and up to the test date in May. Timing of AP tests combined with our 4x4 schedule puts us in a little bit of a pickle since the AP tests are always in spring. So if we do our course in fall and we run our normal 4x4 schedule, then the course will end and the test will happen after that course is ended. If we run it in spring, we have a very compressed timeline. So the proposal here is to run the course in fall and then continue that weekly live support to ensure those students are successful on the spring test. And pay the teacher a stipend in order to support that, and that would be paid for through the grant. Those sessions would be weekly, except for the 3 weeks immediately prior to the test, when they would increase to twice a week. The AP Computer Science Principles does feature a performance assessment, which will be ongoing throughout the course, and then in spring, and then there's an actual exam as well. This year, just so you kind of have a frame of reference on the timing, the performance task was due April 30th, and the exam is set for May 15th. You kind of see the timing that we're dealing with there. The only prerequisite specified by the College Board is a high school algebra course, so we'll be planning to offer that to grades 10 through 12 at the high school, with a required prerequisite of algebra 1. And I have included the course description there, the course overview. The full course description is available on College Board's website as well. We are seeking to have 1 teacher trained, ideally with a computer science endorsement, full licensure in that, and a master's degree. And we will be sending that person to the AP Summer Institute program for AP Computer Science Principles. That's offered in person and online. We're looking at some various options that would be affordable to work within our grant budget. The grant funding itself is going to be used to cover that enrollment fee, as well as any textbook purchases we would need to do, and also to set up a purchase of devices suitable for running the Swift compiler in the Xcode development suite. Swift is going to be the coding language that we are choosing to focus on based on the fact that is an Apple coding language. We are an Apple division that should give us some seamless pieces as far as implementation. Watch out for that. It's also a major commercial coding language for apps, and it will set our students up for success, enduring success beyond the classroom. And then the last would be that stipend for the teacher for this. And to talk here a little bit about Apple is actually an endorsed provider specifically for this course. Swift will be their programming language. There's a free online curriculum and textbook specifically for AP Computer Science principals provided by Apple. There's also free self-paced PD for teachers. And of course, we do anticipate having seamless push out for that, given that we are one-to-one Apple divisions without that. And we're able to be able to also use our existing resources with Apple to make sure that purchase goes well. So Swift is, like we were saying, a major cross-platform commercial app development language. So that's something that can develop apps that will work on the Apple Watch, work on the phone, work on a Mac, work on a desktop, and potentially work on other platforms as well. These are just some screenshots. You can see the Xcode development suite in the lower right, and then some of the resources from College Board and from Apple and other places. As far as measurable outcomes, these are the measurable outcomes of the grant. We're looking for enrollment of greater than 10 but less than 21 students in all different sections. Retention of at least 80% of original enrollees through the end of the course. Alignment of course grades and assessment scores that indicate alignment of course rigor and content with the exam. And test participation, barring truly exceptional circumstances, we're seeking 100% participation in the exam. That is the AP Computer Science Expansion Labor Grant. Any questions?
Any questions? Can't you tell she's excited about it? Excited. Yes, we all are. It sounds like a great opportunity for our students.
All right, well, thank you so much, and I'm very glad to be able to share this with you.
Thank you. Thank you for all your hard work. We're down to the student enrollment reports, Dr. Shannon.
Yes, looking at our enrollment data from April, we have 2,245 students, inclusive of our preschool students, it's 2,388 students. Then considering the attendance, student and teacher attendance award, Riverdale Elementary is the recipient of the Student Attendance Award, and Meharry Elementary is the recipient of the Teacher Attendance Award. Let's give them a round of applause.
Fantastic. You do have the school news calendars in your, included in your information. To the extent possible, please attend, these events. We have field days coming up, graduations coming up, but just look at those calendars and to the extent possible, attend the activities at the schools. Because we do not have a quorum, we will not have a closed session tonight. So at this time, the meeting is adjourned. We will